I was grabbing a pint recently with some people from my local gym. This is the gym I go to. It's called Panda Boxing. And what surprised me that day was that the owner was there. We were talking about the gym, how I like the branding, and he started asking about what I do. I told him that I recently left my engineering job to go full-time into AI. He congratulated me. He asked me a couple more questions. And as I started to find out more about his business, I realized that he was running Facebook ads. And I told him how my service could really benefit his business. The problem was I didn't have a live demo to show him that day. After I left there, it got me thinking, how many businesses miss out on opportunities because they can't instantly prove their value? So I went home, I started cooking, and this is what I came up with, the AI voice agent demo tool. It's pretty simple. You put in your name, phone number, email, and the website of the company that you want to create an agent for. And in just 30 seconds, our tool creates an agent custom trained on your business and calls you live. Real time, raw proof that any business can kick into the future. The truth is that this service sells itself if you can build a solid demo that you can present to business owners so that they can see the results firsthand. And speaking of results, since I've implemented this tactic, I've increased my close rate by 30%. And so before we dive into the build behind the scenes, I wanted to show this in action. So I just submitted the form. We are using Panda Boxing as the demo. You can see that it is currently running, scraping their website. And now in just a second, I should be getting a phone call. There you go, 28 seconds. Call is here. Hello?
Hey there. This is Alex from Panda Boxing. I'll be upfront with you. This is an invite call. Would you like to hear more about our community and workout sessions?
Sure.
Awesome, Kevin. Well, we're reaching out because Panda Boxing could be the perfect fit for you. We offer a variety of boxing workouts designed for all fitness levels, all within a dynamic and supportive community. After your workout, you can even refuel at our coffee and smoothie bar. Plus, we'd love to invite you in for a first-time trial. You can check our class schedules, membership options, and private training on our website. Oh, and don't forget to sign up for our newsletter for exclusive deals and updates. So, Kevin, how does that sound?
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
So how about we get you started with a first-time trial? We've got a few spots open this week, maybe Saturday at 11 a.m. for a dynamic session and a smoothie afterwards. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Fantastic, Kevin. I'll reserve that spot for you Saturday at 11 a.m. You're going to love it. Just make sure to arrive a few minutes early to get settled in. If you have any questions before then, feel free to check out our website or give us a call. We can't wait to see you at Panda Boxing.
Pretty damn incredible. And what's even more incredible is that everything that it said is true. They have a coffee and a smoothie bar. They spoke about their workouts and their classes and the offers that they have. And so now before any call I go into, I run this tool to prep a demo so that they can call them live on the spot and they can witness firsthand the power of our voice agents. And so what happened? Well, the form was triggered. Contact gets created in Go High Level. From there, it hits this webhook with all of the information. We then scrape their website. So we grab all of the content from their website, essentially format it so that it is ready as a knowledge base, and then go and create this new agent based on the template and the information that the AI was able to gather from their website, and then place a phone call. As you can see here, this process took 28 seconds. And on average, when I run this, it's anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. And in my opinion, I don't think that there's a better value for your time to demo the power of AI. And with that being said, let's dive into exactly how I built this. So you're going to need to create a survey or a form and Go High Level. You can see here, mine is just very simple. And we drop in a website at the bottom. And from there, we made a really simple workflow where when that survey is submitted, we trigger the webhook with the first name, the phone number, and the website. And we're posting it to this specific HTTP request, to this specific webhook. So you're going to hop in here, you're going to add a webhook. And then from there, I made this template. It's got a bunch of objection handling, some qualifying questions, and some basic response guidelines. And you can see, hey, is this first name? So what we're doing is we're getting the retail LLM ID first. And I'll drop this template so you can just copy paste this. Be in our school community. We just hit 1K members and we're continuing to grow. Hope to see you in there. So if we're building this out from scratch, we're going to trigger this webhook, get some test data in there. So you can just copy this test URL, paste it in right here with these 3 custom data fields. You can hit save, and then we're going to test the workflow. Or you can just go ahead and fill out the survey that you just created. And then once you do that, you're going to get some custom data down here, which we're going to pin. Okay. So now next up is going to be an HTTP request. We are going to be getting the retail LLM. So you can see this is the endpoint, get retail LLM, and we need the LLM ID. So just copy that, hop back in here, drop it in. And then that LLM ID is going to come from the retail LLM ID right here. So copy that and just go ahead and paste it in at the end here. Now you're going to want to turn on send headers, and then you're going to put in authorization for the name, and then bearer and your API token, right? Your API key. So you can get that by coming into here, clicking on API keys and just copying it. And if everything works, you can just test the step and you should get a little check mark. And then from there, we're going to add in an if statement. And if we scroll down to the bottom under custom data, we're going to grab the website and we're going to say contains, and it's going to be HTTP or it contains HTTPS. Okay, go ahead, test the step again. The reason we're doing this is because if someone fills out the website form and just puts in, let's say, targetdial.co instead of HTTP targetdial.co, it's actually not going to be able to scrape your website properly. So that's why we have two routes going on, because one, we're going to add that if it doesn't have. So we'll continue building out the false path. We're going to need another HTTP request. Now we're going to be going and scraping their website. So this would just be HTTPS followed by the website. So we get something like this. And it's going to be a get method, and that's it. So now if we go and test this step, there you go. You can see, look at this. We got this massive data set that honestly we can't really do anything with because it's all in HTML. And so that's when we use the HTML extractor. So extract HTML content. You can give it a name. So I'm naming mine company info. CSS selector, I'm going to put it to body, and we're going to return the value in text. Pretty straightforward. We'll test the step. There you go. You can see that it's removed a lot of that HTML, and we're starting to get a much nicer output. From there, I'll connect it to OpenAI. It's going to be messaging a model. You can go ahead, choose GPT-4o or a model of your choosing. I usually go with 4o. Now, I'm not going to read the entire prompt, but essentially we're cleaning, structuring the website data in a way that's useful for our AI voice agent. We're passing the company info variable from the previous step. And so we can go ahead and test that step now. There you go. So now you can see it's just polished our website a little bit better and is prepping it to be inserted into the agent. And then we're going to use another OpenAI module. Same thing, message a model. Go ahead, choose GPT-4o again. And now we're going to be passing the general prompt from our initial get retail LLM step. So in that template, we're essentially taking the template and we're saying, hey, here's my current system prompt for my voice agent. Here's the new business info. Can you please reformat the sample system prompt with the information below? And so now if we test the step, you can see, there you go. Now it's gone. It's reformatted the entire system prompt to be specific to my business. Now from there, we're going to be creating a new retail LLM. So this is going to be a post request. The specific endpoint that we're posting to is the create retail LLM. So this one right here, you'll see we need the authorization, your API key again. So we'll turn on send headers. So authorization bearer, and then your API key. And then the other one that we need is content type, application, JSON. Now we're also going to want to turn on send body. You can keep it to using fields below. And there's a few things we need to specify. So we need the model, and we could just scroll down to this initial HTTP request. When we got our agent, we'll drag the model in here, put this on expression, and we'll do the same for the rest, right? So we need the general prompt, and all of these fields are just coming from the create retail LLM. If you scroll through it, you'll see what we need and what we don't need. So the general prompt. So instead of using this general prompt, we're going to use the one that we just created, which is the content of our last message. Then we'll also need the begin message. So the begin message, we can drag that in right here. And that's all that we need. So now you should be able to test that step and everything should work. And we're good to move on to the next step, which is getting our agent. So now getting an agent and then creating an agent and just pulling some of those variables from our templated agent. So go ahead, copy this get agent portion. I'm going to paste it in, and now we need the agent ID. So for that, you're going to come into your template. You're going to copy the agent ID right here, and then just go ahead and paste it at the end. Same thing with the headers. We're going to need the authorization and the bearer token, and then we can run test step. Now we've successfully gone and gotten our retail template agent, and then it's actually to create that new agent that is trained on whatever business you are demoing for. So this is going to be a post request. This is getting the agent or creating the agent. So create the agent. We're going to copy this endpoint. It is going to be a post request. Turn on send headers. And then same as last time, authorization, bearer, your API token. We'll also need content type, application, JSON, and then we're going to turn on send body, change this to using JSON. And so if you come into here, into the body, you'll see what we need and what's required. But really there's a few things, which is the response engine. So retail LLM, that's why we created our own retail LLM first, because we're going to be passing that ID. We'll also need the voice ID, so the voice that we're going to be using, if we want to give the agent a name, right? And honestly, a bunch more options that we can either turn on or off. So you can see that this is what I'm using right now. And all of these are coming from the previous request. So voice ID, I just drag and dropped in the voice ID, and I worked my way down that list with the temperature, the speed, the volume, all of these fields. And then the LLM ID is going to come from the previous HTTP request. And then once you have all of this set up, we can just go ahead and test the step. Now our agent's been successfully created. And then lastly, it's to create that phone call. So now we can look at the create phone call endpoint. We're going to copy this, drop it into our N8N HTTP request to create phone calls. You can turn on send headers. It's the same headers that we've been putting the whole time. So content type, application, JSON, authorization, bearer, and your API key. And then turn on send body, and it's going to be using JSON. And so now the from number becomes your from number that you have in retail. So choose one of your numbers in the phone numbers. Just drop that in here. The to number is going to be coming from your custom data phone webhook response. Now the override agent ID is going to be that new agent that we just created right at the top. So you can drag that agent ID in. And then for the retail LLM dynamic variables, we're just passing the first name. So now that I've tested this step, you'll see in a second, I'll get an inbound call. There you go. And if I answer it, it's going to be trained on my business. So now that we have all that done, the last thing to do is to do the true path. So we're just going to copy this, duplicate it out, connect it to the true path, and then just remove the HTTP from the beginning. And now everything else should just flow smoothly. You can hit save. And there you go. You've just built your demo agent to be able to go and showcase this to any other business. So if you did get value out of this, would greatly appreciate a subscribe. It's free, helps support the channel. And with that being said, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.